just to kind of bring it back to where we started here, Kenobi, what would be the thing you're looking for the most out of that show? What's maybe a moment or a scene or an interaction? Can you think of something that you would really look forward to in that show?
It'd be interesting to see if they overlap already canon sequences, because Obi-Wan does fight Maul and defeats Maul finally in the desert.
He brought that up.
Yeah.
The only reason
I think that would be really cool to see.
I just have pushback against
That'll
that.
come up, I think.
The only reason I would push back against it is the age. First, they've already shown it. There's no reason to show it twice. It's already canon. You don't need to redo the sequence. We know what it looks like. We've seen that.
But this is also
he's
the
also
only
he's also in an advanced age. That was in not Clone Wars, but that was in Rebels. In Rebels, that's where Obi-Wan is in his advanced
and it could
look.
be,
he doesn't look
it could
like
honestly
Ewan
be at
McGregor.
the end of the show, like when they're going to end the series. It could be one of the last episodes. I will be fine with that if that's the last episode.
Because
I don't need to re-see that.
We're talking about like the start of the show. The start of the show is going to take off of after Revenge of the Sith.
Yep.
Where he just kind of hands off.
It's going to be interesting.
That's what I mean. It's
not going to be interesting to see him like have to deal with Jabba the Hutt. I'm sure there's going to be like interactions with that.
He's on Tatooine.
Yep.
Right. So he's going to be
in
the mix. He's right down the road
There's
from,
a lot of
what does he call it?
like,
Wait, give me the line. I need the line. Scum and villainy, dude.
Most Isley Spaceport. You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious.
So I'm looking for some Obi-Wan down at the cantina. I feel like that'll be a scene
it's gonna
somewhere
be super, and I doubt that it will happen, but it'd be interesting if Obi-Wan is forced to go off-world to like circumvent things that could be trying to come to Tatooine.
Yes.
It will be interesting to know how he was able to mask Luke's presence.
Yeah.
There has to be some kind of way, maybe like a dark force trinket or something that could like block Luke's light force. Because I mean, let's face it, he's the son of Anakin Skywalker.
What you see in the trailer, though, is that
midichlorian count of any Jedi that ever lived at that time.
He's fighting Vader on a lava planet, so you would have to assume he's
which
probably
that would be
going to leave
Mustafar, because that's where Vader's castle is.
Yeah, he probably goes to Mustafar to probably take the heat off.
I believe Vader's castle is actually canon.
They're clearly, with the return of Hayden Christensen, they're not looking to hide this. They are going to bring Vader into this, and there will be a sequence.
There was even a fun little, in What If you watch What If, they were fighting through realities, and I think one of the realities they go through is Mustafar, where Vader's castle is.
Do we get to see like a young Luke, or is Luke just a baby the first season? Is there going to be a second season?
They showed him as a baby.
As a baby, but like if this thing like takes off and there's multiple seasons of this show, you're going to ultimately start where he drops off Luke, and then where he kind of lets off, and how A New Hope starts.
I've heard this is kind of like a Loki situation where it's going to be
one off,
and that's it. This is all we're getting.
I hope
from
that's
Obi-Wan.
all it is. Honestly.
Yeah, I don't necessarily
You say that, but
until the money rolls in. Usually, what they're really good at is, especially with main characters like Obi-Wan, is possibly bringing in a secondary character. So Ahsoka or somebody may come in, and
do we see the Emperor
up.
though? That's my other question.
Oh
no.
my God.
Well,
no, I don't think so.
How do you not see the Emperor?
His
if they're going to
presence,
show,
I think the presence of the Empire. I think,
if they're going to show Darth Vader, they have to show the Emperor.
They have to.
You'll probably see him in a hologram, but you won't actually see the Emperor.
Okay.
You'll probably see. I think you'll see the hood.
Ivory tower running the galaxy. Infant Luke doesn't exist to him. Like he doesn't know that
nothing about him.
You know what I want to see? I want to see how he learns to do the Tusken Raider or the Sand People scream. And he's like when he saves Luke, and he's just like, I can't do it.
I'm very curious to see if
dynamics
they
with the
bring
Sand
in
People.
Qui-Gon. That's my question.
I think he will.
He'll probably be a Force ghost, because that's where they left off with Episode 3. Is like training.
I want to see that, and I want to see the Clone Wars Anakin. I want to see.
There'll be flashbacks of it.
Better.
100%.
I'd love to see Yoda on Dagobah.
Some little Force. Yeah.
I'm excited.
You have, I would say.
Well, I want to see the. I think what's interesting about this too is that this is actually like the beginning of the Empire. So I think it'll be exciting to see the actual build-up of what the Empire from the beginning to like where it's gonna end up. Because this is like the boom of the Empire. So it's like
it's at the height.
How does that is there gonna be Imperial propaganda? Is there gonna be are there gonna be like recruiting centers on Tatooine?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see all this kind of play out.
What does propaganda look like in the middle of a desert?
posters.
Some of the
Posters,
nitty gritty.
yeah.
And it
but-
depends how deep they want to go. They can
Yeah.
talk about Bail Organa on
Yeah.
Alderaan and
Oh,
show
yeah.
Alderaan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like infant Leia. All that.
I
stuff.
do hope for something focused.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
is
it's-
Obi-Wan.
It's called Obi-Wan
But these
Kenobi.
are all like
Yeah, I think
episodes.
it'll be
That,
laser
like it doesn't have to
focused.
be focused on that, but like touching on that stuff because I'm sure he had.
But
to
you
be in
never
contact
expected
with
to
I'm
see
Bail
curious.
Organa.
Luke in the Mandalorian because it was
That-
nothing
Yeah.
that was-
pertains to anything like that. So, yeah, it could be called Obi-Wan Kenobi, but there's so many ways that this can kind of spawn
I think
into something
Ahsoka's
else.
coming into this
Right.
because they're spawning a show,
In the-
and her proximity to Anakin. I think it just it breeds that she knew Obi-Wan. You know what I mean? They all knew each other in the
Yeah,
Clone
there's
Wars.
a-
Obi-Wan
So
Kenobi.
at some
That's a
point, I
name
want to
have
see that
not heard.
conversation because I think there's a lot to be said between Ahsoka and Obi-Wan. And